You win 3 in Atlanta, and then you do beat the Mets, and you think to yourself, okay, this is a pretty good team. But the record is 7-6.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody's running away with anything in the National League West. Are a lot of storylines to talk about with the Padres as they kick off this homestand with Milwaukee, then with Atlanta, then they go back on the road. Let's talk about the offense. Xander Bogaerts, X-Man, really hitting well, playing pretty rock-solid shortstop. Very pleased so far, 327 batting average. Hassan Kim playing out of position, hitting 289. To me, he looks better at shortstop than he does at second base, but you got the X-Man at shortstop. Manny Machado's cooled off, but over a long season, Manny will be Manny. I hope it's going to be 290 with home runs. Has not happened yet. Cruz, some games good, other games no. Batting average a little bit over 300. If he's hot and I'm Bob Melvin, I put him in the lineup and just let him stay in the lineup till he stops hitting. I don't care about matchups.
Yeah.
The guy can produce, or at least has produced. Juan Soto is a total mystery to me. I think he's out of sync. I think he's out of sync with the pitch clock. He just does not look right. There's something mechanically flawed with him. It's like he's trying to hit every pitch into Mission Bay. I'm really disappointed because he was 232 last year. Now he's 217 this year. Now, granted, he had a couple of good hits against the Mets. Maybe this will be the catalyst. But 217 is 217. That's the way I feel about it. I don't know what's happened to Jake Cronenworth. He did not have a good season at the plate last year. He's hitting 217 as we begin the homestand. He's still not having a good season this year. Azukar, utility guy, he's hitting 211. Matt Carpenter, he's hitting 200. He's had a lot of at-bats. So he's a utility man. I don't know maybe that he should be in the lineup every day. Odor's hitting $112, please. I'm really disappointed in Nola. He's hitting 103. I don't know whether foul ball in the face in spring training has impacted him. Expected a lot more. And runners in scoring position collectively, this team, that high payroll, it's hitting 205. 205 with the runners in scoring position. Yes, it's small sample size, but they're getting paid. That's a big issue.
Wow.
And I mentioned this last week. I don't like what I'm seeing behind home plate. Opposing runners, 16 stolen bases against 17 attempts against Padre pitching. That has to change defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the statistics we talk about Padre baseball right now. It's, to me, it's not a complete team at this point. I know there's an awful lot of people yapping about once we get such and such back, maybe it'll change. Okay, let's go through the other headlines. Ryan Weathers, they worked on his mechanics. They worked on pitch release. He's pitching really gritty ball. I think he's had 2 pretty decent starts. And the starts at Citi Field, when he went bases loaded, nobody out first inning, I thought to myself, John,
here we go.
Yeah, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
And he got out of it, and then he got stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'm pleased with his progress that they've figured out, and maybe he's figured out how to cope with adversity. I don't know what to tell you about Blake Snell except the enigma. He is nowhere near the guy that was 21-4 in Tampa Bay. Hasn't been the same pitcher since he came off the surgery. And I know you can sales pitch me at Petco Park, John, sitting along the third baseline drinking beer. Lee, look at what he did the second half of each of the seasons. It's a 162-game schedule, and it's driving me out of my mind. His statistics, think about this. 6.92 ERA right now. We're not talking about a first or second year guy. We're talking about a vested veteran with a 6.92 ERA. 13 innings, 28 base runners. He's pitching from the stretch the minute he leaves the breakfast table. He's got guys on base the whole game.
That's a whip over 2.
Yeah, that's just, it's killing me. And the opposing hitters, 322 batting average.
Ooh.
That's a lot of money for a guy that's pitching half a season for you and is really staggering and struggling. And to me, he can't figure it out. Is it stride? Is it mechanics? Is it arm slot? Is it release point? We're talking vested veteran. We're not talking the kid Ryan Weathers or Adrian Morion. We're talking about vested veteran by this point in his career. You think Blake Snell would know how to handle the adversity and the mechanics, etc. Just out of sync. And if you don't like the 6.92 ERA, understand this. Last year at this time, first half of the season, earned run average was 5.60. Year before that was 5.44. Enigma. I don't know what to tell you, except they got to keep giving them the ball. But geez, at the end of the day, I don't care about live arm. I don't care about 96 miles an hour. If you can't get beyond fourth and fifth inning, and if you can't pitch without getting all these guys on bases every inning you're on the mound, it's not good. Joe Musgrove, cortisone shot. I just don't like this. I don't buy the theory, well, they had a cortisone shot on Monday. He's going to be able to throw on Friday or make a rehab start. Now, Hacksaw will be good to go. I just don't think you rally back from cortisone shots that quickly. Tatis, not hitting the ball real well at El Paso. Now, I grant you, he went 3 for 4 the other night. They're playing him 2 games on, takes a day off. So we got another week of Tatis in El Paso. We'll see. He's 6 for 17 collectively. But, John, that's against AAA pitching. I thought he'd be teeing off on these guys and doing a lot of different things. And the other topic is Pomeranz. And, they wanted him to start a game in El Paso. And I just don't know if there's been another reaction, if there's more elbow issues. Is he coming out again without having the chance to pitch? To me, it's a great mystery. And if he can't pitch at AAA right now on rehab assignments, and if there's another setback, that means longer periods of time to rehab, and there's no guarantee he's going to come back because he has not shown any ability to come back from the elbow inflammation post-surgery more than a year ago. He's not pitched in a Padre game since 2021. So, John, you're going to solve the batting order crisis. You're going to tell me your thoughts on Snell. And are we wishing and hoping for Musgrove and Tatis, or we just need to be patient because it may take a little bit more time? Topics on the table belong to you.
Oh my God, that's a long list right there. I mean, as far as the batting order goes, Soto is, I don't get it. I still don't get it. But you figure it's he's going to regress to the mean, which means he's going to eventually perform the way he has always performed. We're just keep waiting. But, the rest of that lineup, Nola was a good hitter in Seattle when we traded for him. At the time of that trade, I liked that trade. I mean, we're getting rid of Andres Munoz, who was injured at the time. You had the Ty France, good guy, but didn't really fit. And you're thinking, this maybe makes sense to get a catcher to replace Austin Hedges. And now the dude doesn't hit at all. So, is this the time for, Campusano to step up and be the man? I mean, what do you think?
Well, they're going to have to play him. If Nola can't throw anybody out, he can't. He's 1 for 15 throwing guys out this season. And we both have agreed the running game is now back in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's stealing baseballs and everybody's stealing pitches on the Padre pitchers because the catchers aren't getting the ball there fast enough and not getting there accurately. They're all over the place. So that's a big issue there. Your take on the injured guys, your take on Tatis. Okay. First of all, your take on Snell.
Oh, Snell, I like him. I just like his whole persona and his attitude. He's a lot of fun to root for. But oh my God, does he drive you crazy when he's up on the mound? And this guy has got talent oozing out of his fingers. He's got issues between his ears. I think he gets in his head too much and he thinks too much and he overthinks. That's kind of my take on it. But it's insane how every year in the beginning of the season, he just doesn't perform. So it makes us wonder, maybe Tampa Bay knew what they were unloading on us. And they were saying, now you can deal with this basket case. But boy, when he's on, he's on. I mean, when he's on, he can be just so dominating. But I think the Padres, they're definitely not going to renew his contract at the end of the season. You look at all the players they feature and all the billboards and the calendars. It's never Blake Snell.
It's April. So I mean, we have to wait till August till he starts to actually do something and earn his pay. Holy cow. And this movie just keeps repeating itself 3 years in a row. I mean, for a guy that's got velocity and a guy that was 21-4 at one point, just to have no consistency and guys are on base every inning that he's on
Yeah.
the mound. It's just
It's got to drive Melvin nuts.
exactly. And then I guess we're holding our breath on Musgrove, and I might be in the minority, or maybe I'm in the majority. I just have no faith at all that Pomeranz can ever come back.
Yeah, Pomeranz, you kind of wonder how badly does he want it? Is he just sort of milking this because this has been going on for so long? It doesn't make any sense. And then Musgrove got the cortisone shot in the shoulder because he dove for that ball in the infield. That was an injury that we didn't expect. I think, Joe, there's no question he wants to perform. So I expect him to be back. I'm very interested to see what the Padres do when Tatis returns. Who are they going to cut loose? Is it Dahl? I mean, I still can't figure out why in the heck Roughneck Odor is on this roster. So is he the guy they jettison when Tatis comes back? I don't know. We'll see.
Somebody will be DFA'd at the point that Tatis comes back, and that'll obviously be a week from now on April 20th. But the burning question is, if he's not ripping it up in the Coast League against young pitching, what's he going to do when he faces max effort aces on a pitching staff?
Well, are they pitching around him? Because remember that one pitcher got angry that Tatis, pimped his home run when he went around the bases. I don't know. I have confidence. I mean, we saw him in again, spring training, but when he was at the top of the lineup, Melvin just was in love with Tatis. The way his dynamic athleticism just completely changed the way that offense worked.
I hope he's a 290 hitter. I hope he's not a 240 hitter, because physically he's not back to face Major League pitching. Only time will tell. Okay, we're talking Major League Baseball. Before we talk